billions of years ago, Earth was just a cold, iced rock, making it to be inhabitable. We may see the stunning wonders of it without wondering on how much time it took to arrive at this destination. Earth, along with the rest of our solar system, was entirely unrecognizable, existing only as an enormous cloud of dust and gas. Eventually, a mysterious occurrence created a disturbance in that dust cloud, setting forth a string of events that would lead to the formation of life as we know it. One common belief is that a distant star collapsed, creating a supernova explosion, which disrupted the dust cloud and caused it to pull together. This formed a spinning disk of gas and dust known as a solar nebula. The speed of the cloud spun led to the dust and gas becoming concentrated at the center, further fueling the speed of the nebula. Over time, the gravity at the center of the cloud became so intense that hydrogen atoms began to move more rapidly and violently. The hydrogen protons began fusing, forming helium and releasing massive amounts of energy. And Sun came into existence, as well as Earth. The formation of the Sun consumed more than 99% of the matter in the nebula. The remaining material began to arise from the combination of distinct elements into various masses. And this Earth was extremely active, containing gases like helium, which made the very first atmospheric layer. As time goes by, this little Earth suffered a tragic collision with Mars-sized like asteroid called Theia, which smashed into our Earth. After that collision, the remains orbiting Earth clustered together by gravity, making what we know today as the Moon. This planet Earth was extremely hot, to the point that the planet likely consisted almost entirely of molten magma. There were no oceans and water was still in a gas state. But as time goes by, Earth began to cool, allowing condensation to take place. And due to high rainfall, oceans started to form, making our world being covered by water, with no continents in sight. With all this water, around 3.7 billion years ago, and H2O, which plays a significant role for creating living things. Life of microscopic organisms first appeared on Earth. While Earth was on its journey from 3.3 billion years ago, the first continent called Creighton rose from the ocean, making its first appearance on Earth, and it is believed that the Creighton was smaller than the continent of Oceania, making it the first small continent ever appeared on Earth. I can call it the firstborn of continents. Around 2.4 to 2.2 billion years ago, photosynthesizing bacteria known as cyanobacteria evolved. They released oxygen into the atmosphere through photosynthesis, as our world experiencing oxygen for the first time, and this event known as the Great Oxidation Event. Over time, carbon dioxide levels decreased, which led to Earth becoming icy. This known as the Ice Age. The world did not stop there, as there was an emerging of a supercontinent called Columbia, which is known to have existed around 1.6 billion years ago in the Paleo-Proterozoic era. This continent consisted of protocratons that made up the cores of another continents. Over time, the supercontinent called Rodinia emerged to the surface. This continent was the biggest continent ever existed on Earth, and over time, Rodinia dismantled until another continent formed called Pannotia. Around 540 to 480 million years ago, another life formed, and it was called the Cambrian Explosion. This event is said to be the biological Big Bang of creatures with exoskeleton and hard body, which protects them in some conditions. And it is said that the existing type of animals appeared from these creatures. Around 440 million years ago, there was a rising of sea levels and temperatures, causing almost 85% of species to extinct, and that is known as the Silurian event. The The dying of these species paved the way of the ecosystem to develop. The first true plants then began to take root on land some 430 million years ago. They evolved rigid stems, enabling them to stand upright, and the tubular tissues common to all vascular plants that allowed the transport of water and nutrients. These first colonizers lacked leaves, but mosses and other plants followed, providing a thin layer of waterside vegetation that encouraged aquatic animals to make the transition to land. While Pangaea was the remaining continent, the dinosaurs first appeared on Earth. They dominated the world walking on the land, some of them even flying above the oceans. Sometimes I wonder what it was like to live with these giants every day. Not to mention the greatest animal chaser of all time, the T-Rex. And it is believed that these creatures were the largest animals ever existed on Earth. But over time, as the world was changing, Pangaea changed also, forming the continents we have today. "66 million years ago, an asteroid the size of a mountain slammed into Earth, filling the atmosphere with gas and dust that drastically altered the climate. It is said that this asteroid hit Earth with an explosive yield estimated at over 100 million tons of TNT. And this Hairvok was massive that it caused the dinosaurs' skin water to evaporate, leading to dinosaurs burning alive. As time progresses, then mammals became more popular. Around 4 million years ago, the first early humans stepped on the land, and they were called the Australopithecines. This early humans were said to be upright in posture and liked to live in small groups. With their hand-like feet, they were able to walk on trees and able to take very long journeys on the land too. Over time, with the release of the forelimbs, they were capable of carrying weapons and now use stones to create tools. Then the Homo erectus appeared on the planet. These type of humans were now more intelligent than the others, as they discovered how to create and control fire for them to cook and to warm themselves under cold weather conditions. Then, instead of eating fruits and nuts, they started to hunt for meat with their weapons. As time passes, they kept on hunting for thousands of years in order to find food. Then about 15,000 years ago, humans switched from being hunters to become farmers. They discovered to grow food in the soil instead of chasing wild animals on a daily basis. Few more years later, the world experienced a tragic moment for a while and became a circus as there were wars in all regions of it. Not so long ago, we underwent crucial revolution in science and technology as humans gaining more intelligence. We built factories, buildings, and developed multiple systems to maintain the process of change, as cities were developing too. From then, the world's population was increasing to the point that it exceeded 1 billion in the 1800s. Then in the 1900s, it reached 2 billion. And it kept growing and growing, reaching over 8 billion as things stands. As the world is changing, climate change is also shifting too. Could this be the threat for modern life existence? I think the answer is yes, and the biodiversity is declining at an alarming rate. Temperatures are rising, and natural disasters are becoming more and more common. And the question is, can humans stop what the nature is doing? Or maybe we are on a verge for extinction. We don't know. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and click on the bell icon to receive notification of new interesting videos that are coming next on Alpha.